the human who sees without seeing. They called her Vel'Sari the Swift, elite archer of the Zalari Empire, eyes sharper than hawks, hands quicker than lightning. And today, she stood before a group of humans, unimpressed. The war had ended weeks ago, but joint exercises were mandatory under the new peace treaty. The humans were here to train with them. Train? Vel'Sari scoffed as she leaned against a tree. What could a race of slow, lumbering ground walkers possibly teach the Zalari? Especially him, the human they called Kael. He stood barefoot in the clearing, tall but relaxed, arms folded, eyes closed. His body was wiry, not muscular like the other human soldiers, and he didn't speak unless spoken to. He hadn't even picked up a weapon since arriving. The Zalari warriors whispered behind their hands, laughing softly. Vel'Sari didn't whisper. "You move like roots in mud, human," she said, voice loud. "You blink, and a Zalari warrior has already fired 10 arrows. Kael didn't respond. He simply bowed his head slightly, as if agreeing. That irritated her even more. "I will make it easy," she said, stepping forward with her bow in hand. "You stand in the middle. I fire 12 arrows. If you dodge even one, I'll admit you have potential." One of her comrades chuckled. He won't even see them coming. Kael opened one eye. "I won't be using my eyes." Vel'Sari blinked. "You're joking." He shook his head slowly. "Fire when ready." The challenge. The forest clearing fell silent. The other Zalari took positions around the perimeter to watch. Some readied medical kits just in case. Vel'Sari notched her first arrow, raised her bow, and narrowed her eyes. She was the pride of her world, able to fire multiple arrows midair, ricocheting off trees and rocks to strike impossible targets. This would be over in less than 3 seconds. She released the first arrow, then the second, third, fourth, all 12 arrows fired in a sequence, so fast that even her own people could barely follow the blur. And Kael moved. He stepped left before the first arrow was even halfway to him, tilted his head as the second grazed the air behind his ear, bent backward, one hand brushing the grass as 3 more sailed overhead, spun once, just once, like a leaf twisting on a breeze, and somehow the rest missed by inches. 12 arrows. Not a single one touched him. His eyes never opened. The silence. No one spoke. The last arrow thudded into a tree behind him. Kael straightened and opened his eyes calmly. Vel'Sari's bow dropped from her hand. What did you just do?" she demanded, voice caught between awe and disbelief. "I listened," Kael replied simply. "To what?" she snapped. "The wind, the vibration of your bowstring, the breath of the trees as they shifted from your movement." He tapped his chest. "The human body is slow, but the world around it isn't. If you can feel the world, you don't need to see it." A hush fell over the Zalari. Kael walked past her without a word, then paused. "You laughed at me earlier." Vel'Sari blinked. "Ah, yes." He looked over his shoulder. "You don't laugh now." And then he was gone, vanishing into forest like a shadow returned to its roots. The aftermath. That night, around the fire, the Zalari warriors were unusually quiet. Vel'Sari stared at her bow, replaying the moment in her mind again and again. No trick, no shield, no psychic ability, just awareness. The next morning, she approached him while he sat meditating beneath the giant moonleaf trees. "Human," she said. He opened his eyes slowly. "Kael," she corrected herself. "Kael, I want to learn." He raised an eyebrow. "I want to move like that," she said, "to feel the way you do." Kael smiled gently, then stopped watching. Start listening. Weeks later, Vel'Sari no longer laughed at humans, especially not Kael. She moved differently now, less sharp, more fluid. She didn't fire arrows to show off anymore. She learned to feel the heartbeat of the forest, to walk as if the ground welcomed her steps. The other Vel'Sari noticed. So did Kael. And though they still sparred from time to time, Vel'Sari no longer fought to win. She fought to understand. One day, as they trained side by side, she asked him softly, "Why did you really come here? Not just for peace talks." Kael looked up at the sky. "Because sometimes the strongest people are the ones no one believes in," he said. "I've been laughed at before, many times, but I've learned if you stay calm, they stop laughing when it matters." She nodded. "I understand now." And she did, because the slowest human she had ever seen had become the one warrior she could never strike.